This Integrate Learning video is a continuation of our light sensor series. In the first video, we were introduced to the light sensor. Our second video added the Tri-LED program to our light sensor. And in this video, we will add a servo. Now, this is our servo. Servos have the capability of rotating from 0 to 180 degrees. So you'll use those numbers in just a moment. And they need to be plugged into the servo port. We're going to use port number 1 here. If you look closely, you can see the number 1 down there. And we want to make sure that the black wire is in the negative port, the red wire is in the positive, and the yellow wire is in the S port. S on this side, negative on this side. Take a moment to plug in your servo before continuing the video. So continuing, let's take a moment to explore the Servo Block. It's in the Motion menu. If you aren't there already, go to the Motion menu, scroll down, find the Hummingbird Servo Block, and bring that out into the palette where you have your light program. Now, if you have the Servo Block set to port 1, you should be able to click on it and make the wheel move. So here I've just made it move to 0 degree mark. Now I'm going to set it back to 90, and I can put in any number between 0 and 180. Pause the video for just a moment and explore the servo. Now that you've had a moment to explore the servo, we're going to make some changes to our earlier display board. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. Let's set this camera up a little taller for just a moment, and then we'll continue. So now that I have the Tri-LED light hooked up, the light sensor hooked up, and the servo hooked up, now I'm going to make some changes to the board that we had before. Here you can see I've taken the Tri-LED and I've made a new hole over here in the top right corner. That's where I'll put my disco ball. I've moved the light sensor up to the hole that had the Tri-LED light, and then we're going to do something else down here. So we're going to insert our servo down here so that we can create some motion. All right, so right about in this spot, maybe right about here, just left of that original hole, we're going to take a pencil and we're going to trace around the servo. And when we do this, it will give us a rectangular space to insert the servo. Now, for this next part, you need some adult supervision, so make sure you have that. You're going to hold this pen knife like a pen. You see an adult for one of these to use. And when you hold it like a pen, you're going to draw against the box. Notice it's not a stabbing motion, it's not a big motion, but we're going to draw against the box while we create the opening that we need. Take a moment to finish carefully making this opening. Now, once you have your hole correctly cut, you should be able to insert the servo like this. And in our next step here, I'm going to show you how to glue this. You'll need a hot glue gun. Again, adult supervision. Now, when you glue a servo, you want to make sure that you glue it right in this area here. You don't want to glue near the wheel or in that top area. And again, you want to glue right about here. And then you want to move a little quickly. Don't let the glue set too long before you get it in place on your cardboard. Hold it for at least 30 seconds to allow it to set. Now, double check that you have the light, Tri-LED light here, the light sensor here, and your servo glued in this location more or less. If you need a moment to do that, pause the video before resuming. Now, we're going to take a pause from the cutting and creating, and we're going to work on the programming now. So let's go back over here. We have this light program that we created in the last video. We're going to move the servo back into the palette for just a moment. we're going to create a copy of this program. The way you do that is you go to the top of it and you either right finger click with a mouse or two finger click in a Chromebook and create this window which says duplicate, and then you can left click or one finger click on a Chromebook to make a duplicate, and you just move that down so that it's below the other program. Left click or single click one more time, and you set your program in place. Now we don't want two programs that use the tri-LED light, so we are going to get rid of all of the programming inside the if command by dragging it out to the palette, and we're going to get rid of this tri-LED command as well. All right, now we're going to use our servo. We're going to drag a servo block back out here. And if you could go to the control menu and let's grab a weight block right here and attach it to your Hummingbird servo. Now we're going to use that duplicate command one more time. We're going to right click or two finger click, duplicate, and snap these together. Let's bring both of these into the if statement right here. And let's make a couple of number changes. Let's keep this at port 1, but let's set this to 70. And let's set this to 110. You'll see why in just a moment. And then if you would go back to the motion menu one more time and insert one more servo block underneath the if program, just like we have in the tri-LED. This is our, when the program is over, this tells the computer, the servo, what to do. If you need a moment, pause the computer to make sure you have all of these things correct. All right, we want to make one more change here. The last servo block, we want it to end on 90 because 90 is the straight up and down position for the way this servo is installed. Now we have a program ready to go. You can click on both programs separately at the top, or you can go up to the Snap Program flag and click on that to turn on both programs at the same time. You should notice when this happens that all three colors happen for your LED light, and the servo moves if you have a brightness less than 15. Now when the brightness returns, the program should stop. Take a moment to explore that by pausing the video. Now there's a couple more things we need to do to finish this program. We need to put our disco ball back on, so let's go ahead and reattach that. And we need something to dance. It could be a dancing man. It could be a dancing smiling face. It can be whatever you want it to be. Take a moment to create something like this, anything you want it to be, using scrap paper, construction paper, tag board, cardboard, any material really, and resume the video once you've created your dancing man or dancing object. Now, using some cellophane tape rolled back on itself so it's sticky on both sides, I attached my dancing man to the white servo wheel, and now my program is ready to go. The program is running, and by clicking on the flag or by clicking on both programs together, and when the brightness in the room goes down, the dancing begins. Now you can do lots of different things. You can explore the variables. The brightness of the LED light can be changed. What color combinations can be changed. The way the servo moves can be changed. What happens when the servo stops can be changed. All of these things can be adjusted, and you can have a lot of fun exploring that with your new program and dancing man. And that's how you get a light sensor to work with a tri-LED light and a servo. Have fun exploring.